Hello everybody, my name is Neil Bakiev and I'm your IELTS instructor with a perfect band 9 in the speaking section. And today we'll be looking at IELTS Speaking Part 1 and our topic is parks. Let's read the first response. Do you visit parks? Yes, I do, for 2 reasons. Firstly, I've been playing sports in parks for years. For example, my friends and I get together at Queen's Park in Invercargill, New Zealand and play basketball every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Secondly, I enjoy feeding the ducks there. For instance, I always feed the ducks at the aforementioned park by sprinkling breadcrumbs in front of them, which they eat with great gusto. Now let's look at the explanation. Okay, in order to improve your fluency, use the following strategy. So the question is, do you visit parks? You should say, yes, I do, for 2 reasons. So you should clearly say that yes, you do, or no, you don't. And then for 2 reasons. Firstly, and then provide the first reason. And then you should say, for example. Then secondly, talk about the second reason. For instance, and then give one example. And then I say, at the aforementioned park. So I'm referring back to the previous statement. I'm trying to create a strong link here. Okay, and that's how you can improve your fluency. Now let's look at the vocabulary here. I say I always feed the ducks. So feed means you give food to ducks, all right? And then sprinkling here, sprinkling breadcrumbs. Sprinkling means dropping, giving something to them. Crumbs means small pieces of bread here. With great gusto means with great pleasure. And let's look at the grammar aspect here. I say I have been playing sports for years. So when you're talking about a long period of time, you want to use the present perfect, which means that something has been happening for a long time. So have been plus verb ing. All right, next, I say I enjoy feeding. Remember, after enjoy, make sure that you to use ing. Enjoy feeding, enjoy going. All right, let's move on. Next question. Do you think parks are important for towns and cities? Why? Yes, I most certainly do believe that parks are essential for cities as they provide the local population with areas where they can get together and socialize. For instance, there are lots of parents with their offspring that meet with other families at Queen's Park in Invercargill, New Zealand. While the children cycle and ride scooters together, the parents chat about daily life and share their experiences. A clear benefit of parks is thus apparent. Now let's look at the explanation here. So in order to improve your fluency, use the following strategy. So the question is, do you think parks are important? And the answer is yes, I most certainly do believe that, which means I really, really believe that. Okay, and then you should say, for instance, and then provide one example. And then I say, while the children cycle and ride scooters together. So I'm talking about the first group of people. Then I say their parents chat about daily life, and then I'm talking about the second group of people. So when you want to talk about 2 different groups of people, 2 different kinds of animals, 2 different kinds of nations, use this word while. Okay, and then I say a clear benefit of parks is thus apparent. So in this case, thus means that's why. Apparent means clear here. All right, now let's look at the vocabulary here. I say essential, which means important. Socialize means speak. Offspring means children. And chat about means talk about. All right, let's move on. Do you think parks should be free or that people should pay to use them? I'm convinced that there should not be any entrance fees for either children or adults when visiting parks. However, if they wish to use special facilities such as tennis or basketball courts, they should be charged a reasonable fee, as these facilities require maintenance, which costs some money. All right, now let's look at the explanation here. Let's look at the fluency. I say I'm convinced that, which means I do believe that, I really believe that. And then I say however, which means but. Now let's look at the vocabulary here. I say entrance fees, which basically means you pay the money to enter parks, right? So you pay money to enter a park. Okay. Then I say a reasonable fee. A reasonable here means inexpensive, not expensive. Okay, and then fee means money, basically. The money that you pay. Money. Okay. And then I say, as these facilities require means need. Maintenance means repair. Now let's look at the grammar aspect here. I say there shouldn't be any entrance fee. So there should be some entrance fee, but there shouldn't be any entrance fee. When you're using a negative form not, you should use only any, not some. Okay. Then I say for either children or adults. So when you have one of the two available options, you should say either or. And then after when, make sure to use ing. So when visiting, when going. Then should be charged. I'm using the passive voice here. Okay, so which means that somebody makes them pay. So they should be charged. Be plus ed. Okay, verb ed or verb 3. Okay. And also make sure to use conditional clauses if, when the examiner hears, if he likes it a lot. All right. Let's look at the next question. What are some of the disadvantages of parks in towns or cities? The only immediate apparent disadvantage is that some parks may take up large areas that can be used as farmland. For example, there is a shortage of farmland in Japan, with the rapidly diminishing availability of arable land and falling agricultural incomes. If several parks in Japan were replaced by farmland, more farmers would produce crops and earn larger revenue, and this would help to develop the local economy. Now let's look at my explanation here. So what are some of the disadvantages? And here you can just focus only on one disadvantage that you can come up with. I say the only immediate apparent disadvantage is that. Okay, so you can use this phrase for any response, for any question which requires you to talk about the disadvantages of something. And then I say, for example, always provide examples. And then I say, and this. Okay, so make a strong link between your sentences, and this would help. Okay, now let's look at the vocabulary here. I say, take up large areas. Take up means occupy. Okay, large areas, which basically means big territories. Okay, and then oh no, it's come here. Yeah, a shortage of means a lack of, when you don't have enough, when you don't have something enough. Okay, then diminishing means decreasing. You don't have enough, so the amount of something is decreasing. Arable means used for farming, incomes means salaries. Okay, now let's just look at the grammar point. Okay, so here we have some parks may take up. So try to use as many modal verbs as possible. So here you have may. Okay, so you can say should, may, can. Okay, next. So in this case, can be used, and then be used is the passive voice. So be plus verb 3. So people use large areas, but large areas can be used, the passive voice. Also, there is, okay, a shortage of something. There is what plus where. Then would help. So here I'm using the second conditional here. So if several parks were replaced, and then more farmers would produce crops. Okay, so the idea is the situation doesn't exist, it's only in our mind, but so we're trying to imagine it, and therefore we need to use the second conditional here. And that's all. Thank you very much for watching and analyzing this video lesson.